Hello and welcome to the MSTieCast. I'm Toby Mobius.
And Justin's one here as always.
Well, it's been a while since you heard from us, but we are back. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that liked our live interview with the Walker Brothers at MomoCon. It was a unique form change for us, but I was happy to do it, and I can't wait to do more at future events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really cool. We got the chance to do that. We got also a lot of likes and fans on the Facebook page, a lot recently. So it's like we appreciate a lot of people, new people listening to the podcast. It's really nice.
Yep, and again, big thanks to the Channel Awesome Twitter feed, which liked the original communication, the original tweet going out about it. And because they favored it, a lot of other people saw it, so that was really cool. So thank you very much, guys, for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went back sooner, but stuff happens. Whether
life finds a way.
Life, job, technical difficulties,
it
internet outages.
Yeah, it happens.
It's just stuff has happened. That's all. Actually, I'm kind of glad because last week I was I hardly had any voice. I was I had a cold and it hit my voice most. I didn't really have a runny nose, but for 2 days I couldn't even take phone calls at work. It's my voice was so hoarse. It's
2 weeks ago I slipped down the stairs going down to the basement and messed up my knee again. So I was kind of out of commission to do anything creative wise. Plus I've just been busy with work and I'm looking at getting another job and I'm looking into moving, so just a whole lot of stuff. But the show must go on, of course. Mm-hmm. So, first things first, a little bit of sad news before we get into the other nerdy discussions. Those of you who follow B-movies are aware of Rowdy Roddy Piper, former WWF, now WWE, wrestler. He sadly passed away today, it is believed. Reports are circulating that he passed away. This could be redacted in the future, we don't know. You know how it is with celebrity deaths.
Yeah, this one looks like it's been pretty much confirmed. I think even WWE themselves have confirmed it. And it's like I can check on their website, but it looks like reports are that he was died in his sleep because of a heart attack. From what I heard, from what I'm reading, that is, which is sad as a wrestling fan and stuff. Like he was one of my favorites growing up, and was in his first real acting job is John Carpenter's classic movie They Live is one of my favorites. Such a fun stuff. I mean, I've come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and out of bubblegum is just that's ingrained into pop culture for people.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it's already on their website. It's on the front page.
Okay. But yeah, it's sad. It's I mean, it's not really. I think anyone's really surprised that a former wrestler died of a heart attack, but it's still really sad to know that it happened, especially to a guy who, from all accounts, couldn't have been, just a sweeter guy.
Yeah, he was. He was 61. He's wasn't young or anything, but it's still a little sudden. It's like I lost an uncle not too long recently. It's rather suddenly. It's like he was only in his 60s, so it's like it stinks when you hear a lot of stuff like that. So my thoughts and prayers are out to he was married for a long time, has a lot of kids. So it's like my heart goes out to the family. Yeah, it'll be messy. He was definitely, it's like he didn't, he wasn't did not do with a lot of high profile stuff like Hulk Hogan did into the 80s and 90s. Wrestlers trying to film. It's like sometimes you can catch it. It's like some have been successful. Like just look at The Rock. I mean, The Rock is just he's turned himself into a huge force in Hollywood. It's like it's like Fast and Furious movies, and he's making lots of blockbusters and stuff like that. So it's like he's become a really good actor too. So it's like
Yeah, I mean he's known as one of the great talkers of the WWF era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Roddy Piper was like that too. It's like he was way ahead of his time of how he would he would talk. It's like he has so many wiggle liners. I mean, just go on YouTube and find some of the stuff he made, like his Piper's Pit stuff. It's just fabulous. So, yeah, it's like he's being missed. I mean, I've seen plenty of the bad movies he was in, and there was a lot of them. It's like, it's like it's like MST3K and RiffTrax have mentioned some of the Daylid stuff before, like, it's like, the kind of like line and stuff like that. So it's like a lot of the guys are fans. I mean, like Frank and Bill tweeted about it that he passed away. So it's like it's unfortunate, and it's like that was a little bummer for me. So, but on to we've got a lot of MST stuff going on. Cover, but like starting with latest RiffTrax Live. That was out earlier this month. Another dose of Sharknado 2, the second one. Now, I enjoyed the ripping of the first Sharknado last year, so I was looking forward to this one because I heard how ridiculous, even more ridiculous, the second movie was, and they just this month they released the third one, on Sci-Fi, and this one was just like, it was very obvious that, it's like, we're being stupid on purpose here, we're having fun with it, we don't care, and we're going to cram as many celebrity cameos that we can into this movie. Like, like in the first 10 minutes, like, Will Wheaton and Kelly Osbourne both get their heads taken off by sharks. It's like, I think a lot of them were just like, hey, you want to be in this movie just so you can get killed by a shark? Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm sure that's like why half the people signed up to be in This Is the End. Hey, you want to die in the apocalypse? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Sharknado franchise, and it's weird for me to know that is a franchise.
It is a franchise now because it's making money.
Like,
it is.
I'm
not a big fan of the movies here. I just appreciate that the guys can make fun of it because it's like they're bad. I mean,
but at the same time they're like bad on purpose. So it's
this is the bad on purpose stuff kind of movie, and which is becoming, unfortunately, starting to get a little too popular for my taste these days. It's like, it's one thing to make like a parody, or something like that, but to intentionally make a bad movie, I don't know. I have a lot of issues with that.
It's just like, why would you intentionally make a bad one when there's so many bad ones that exist that are doing it not on purpose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they try to make a good movie, and it's turning bad. It's like, I think with the first Sharknado, they were trying to make a good movie, it was bad, and the people loved it because it was so bad, so they decided to just run with it. And
I don't know. Like, with the first Sharknado, I always got the impression that they know what they're doing. They're very self-aware about it, especially because it is the asylum, and that's their shtick.
And number 2 is even more self-aware. Like, it's like we know this is stupid and ridiculous and over the top, but we're doing it anyway because it's fun. I mean, you got friggin' Matt Lauer and Al Roker from the Today Show talking about, oh no, look how the Sharknado is about to hit Manhattan. Oh, it's like, you better be indoors. It's like and all the other celebrity cameos. I was like, wow, really? I was like, everyone from like Judd Hirsch playing a taxi driver. Gee, that's a surprise.
Bismarck.
To famous wrestler Kurt Angle as a cameo, as like it was like either a firefighter or a cop. I can't remember.
Billy Ray Cyrus parodying. I think he was like parodying that show Doc he was on.
Exactly. Yeah, he was playing a doctor. Yeah, I was like, okay. Yeah, a lot of the people who cameoed were playing like roles that they were kind of core. Like, Judd Hirsch was, but one of the best known things he was, taxi. So he's a taxi driver. Ha 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 ha. Just trying to think of some other.
Andy Dick.
Oh yeah, the Andy Dick cameo was like, oh no. I was like, really?
A certain sandwich spokesman who's in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, that one got a lot of laughs, especially some of the jokes they made at his expense.
And he's in the third one apparently. But
yeah,
I'm told. I heard somebody that might edit him out.
I heard that they cut out his cameo out of part 3.
Yeah, they're like we probably shouldn't get too much into it just because it's a tangent. But yeah. They're trying to. He has become an unperson for now. If it turns out everything is okay, then they'll probably put it back in on like a DVD or Blu-ray release. But
But anyway, the movie's bad. Riffing was very good though. A lot of good jokes, so it made up for it. And, the short was also really good. They found something that was like, I was really amused at, like, the creepy doll thingy teaching kid lesson kind of short. It's like it reminded me of like, it was in the creepiness vein of like Mr. B. Natural and Coily from Case of Spring Fever. And it was like some like demonic. It's like it was like a demon spawn of Lady Elaine Fairchild from Strange Neighborhood. It was just one of the rest trying to kill me because I was thinking that before you said it. That thing looks like some kind of nightmare version of Lady Elaine from Strange Neighborhood. And then when like one of them said it, I just like nearly died. He's like, you read my mind. I really like it when it happens when I think of a riff and then they say it. It's like it makes me feel good.
Yeah, I had that impression when I went and saw The Room, which to date is the only live one that I've seen. I hope to go to Miami Connection or...
Miami Connection, I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah, Miami Connection looks great. That or Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny this December.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the nice thing that they confirmed it's in the FAQ and also on the forums, that this version of the Ice Cream Bunny is like there's like 2 cuts of the film where they use different, the one that they done before had the Thumbelina story in the film. This version that they're doing in December, instead of Thumbelina, I think it has like it's like Jack and the Beanstalk or something. It's like a different story. So it's like, this is like an alternate cut of the film. So that'll give them some new material to play with, which will be nice. So that, I have a friend, she hasn't seen that yet, so she's like, oh boy. That one's high on the pain index, Santa and Ice Cream Bunny. So, it's been a while since I watched it anyways, it's their previous riff on it, because I have a copy of it burned on DVD, but that'll be fun.
Right on.
So, yeah, RiffTrax guys are continuing to go strong. Releasing some good, like, VOD stuff. There's one I watched recently. We got our hands on the Apple. We haven't watched that one yet. We're saving that for a friend. It was what was it? Oh, it was a Hawk the Slayer. Oh my god! Oh, that movie. Oh, it was so bad. Jack Palance hamming it up, getting a paycheck. Oh my god, that one's a lot of fun. I recommend, if you like the sword and sorcery stuff, I definitely recommend that one. They did that one a while ago. It was like last year, but yeah, it's like finally got around to get my hands on that one, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll probably check that one out at some point soon.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's that was definitely a winner. It's like their live shows are just so much fun.
Yeah.
We had a good crowd too in the theater for this one too. It was it's like there's a lot of RiffTrax and MST3K fans.
My only complaint about the last time I went was we had these 2 guys that were right next to and in front of us, and they, like, every time they said anything, they howled with laughter, even if it wasn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it got real old real quick. Like, I guess it was just like a nervous energy kind of thing.
Right.
But still. Oh well.
Yeah, it's annoying. But, no, it's like when that becomes available, I think it'll probably be like I don't know if it'll be audio, but it's like, they've been having too much fun. I'm sure next year they're going to be doing part 3.
Probably.
I will not be surprised. They seem to be having fun with it. I mean, heck, they even played like a clip from part 3 before they did the movie. So it's like, and they've done that for each one, it's like they did it last year, they played a clip, Sharknado 2 before they did the original. So it's like they have no problem promoting the stuff for sci-fi in the asylum.
Yeah. So, but enough about sci-fi of the earthly kind. Let's move on to sci-fi of the spacey kind.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Paul Feig, the man behind Bridesmaids and the upcoming Ghostbusters reboot, has a show on Yahoo Screen, formerly called Yahoo TV, called Other Space, which is a Star Trek sort of pastiche, a little bit of Red Dwarf in there.
It's basically like a sci-fi comedy / parody.
Yeah, the closest thing I can compare it to is Red Dwarf.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like in the vein of Red Dwarf, where it's a sci-fi setting, but it's just straight up like over the top zany comedy stuff.
Yeah, it's set in a universe that doesn't take itself at all seriously.
No. It's set like in like almost like 100 years from now.
100. It's like 150 years from now, I think.
Yeah, it's like in the 22nd century, and this guy who's kind of a doofus gets promoted to captain and to give a command of a ship, and he gets to pick the crew.
And his older, domineering sister has made his second in command.
Which she can't stand because she's always wanted to be better to him, and so it's like she was hoping to get her own command, but now she's stuck having to be, his lieutenant, which she's not thrilled about.
And he gets, the crappy old ship that barely works. A team that's described as a ragtag bunch of misfits.
Which he kind of helped, some of them he selected, like, one of his,
he selected his crush.
He selected a woman he's got a crush on who was, like, engaged to another guy, but it's like,
And she's, like, barely competent at her own job.
Yeah, and she's a navigator, which makes things not so good. Another was a friend of his when he was growing up who babysat for him. But he gets made third in command, but when he was hoping to be second in command. This other character who's got some interesting depths to him, who's apparently related to, like, the president of Earth or something like that.
The president of their version of the Federation.
Yeah. And then
the UMP.
And then we got the double dose of MST alum. You got Joel Hodgson as the he's a veteran guy from space, kind of like, think of like he's kind of like he's supposed to be the engineer, he's supposed to be running. He's like a Scotty, except that he's back on his head. Due to too much exposure, as he says, I got exposed to too much radiation from the engines over the years, so I'm not exactly all there. He's not.
He's not, and he has a quirky robot buddy played by Trace Beaulieu. I can never pronounce his name correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. The robot's name is Art.
As in Art Crow.
Yeah.
I like that little touch.
And there's a whole interesting backstory that comes out about Art. And,
we probably shouldn't spoil it here because it's actually a really funny reveal.
It is really funny. I'm not going to spoil it. In the second episode, you find out what his deal is. Because everyone's like, well, wait a minute, what's this robot doing here? He's not supposed to be on the ship. And Joel's just like, well, he's my buddy.
He's my little robot friend.
So they're supposed to go out on, like a mission, just cruising around the solar system, and then they get sucked into this, like, rift in time and space and end up in some other part or potentially another universe. They have no idea where they are. And so, Lost in Space kind of deal. They're trying to figure out how to survive and maybe get back home. And, it's playing up the dysfunctional thing of, like, these guys aren't exactly, this is not the crew of the Enterprise. These are the people that would be down below. It's like, they're not the most competent, they're not the most, and, can be kind of strange and neurotic, so it's like, and,
the thing is, that strikes me is there's actually another show that this is very similar to. It's called Star Command. It was made by an Atlanta group of actors and comedians. I think it was called Star Command. And the whole point of it was that the captain was basically put on this ship to get him out of the way because his ex-girlfriend was his superior. And so they got put on the old jalopy of a ship called the Robert E. Lee. And everyone on board is grossly incompetent. Like, the chief engineer fixes everything with duct tape. Just engineering is covered in duct tape. And the red shirt dies in every episode, but he just comes back. Like, he could just regenerate.
Yeah. Oh, there's one of the other characters is the ship's AI, who is like appears as a woman on the view screens. She's not like she was originally like it was like a program that was for like pleasure in Vegas that got co-opted to be the ship's AI.
Yeah, I think she says like she was the AI of a Hooters ship that got sold to the UMP in a bulk deal that also came with like some exercise equipment.
Yeah, so it's like she wasn't originally designed to be the AI of a starship, you know. So it's like she's kind of like learning as things go along too. So, the first episode wasn't too bad. I liked some of the jokes. By the second and third episodes, it started to get really funny. Especially like the second episode, because they have a whole like oh, there's an alien among us, and they have the whole like it's like the thing, except like it's much more comedic, as they're flipping out trying to figure out who might be an alien imposter, because there's apparently some aliens in this void where they are that are trying to kill them. It's like they're not friendly, so
yeah, they're not friendly, intelligent, like explorers. No, they're just hostile. The show is genuinely very funny. Mm-hmm. It's got great comedic timing. There's really good energy between the cast. Joel steals every scene he's in. Joel and
Trace are gold. It's like they're really a highlight of this. They're obviously fun because Joel's basically he's kind of taken like the way he was on MST3K and upping the craziness by a factor of 100. It's like
my favorite
I like
one
how
is...
what? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I love how like he's got like the long, I like how I think it was like the captain's sister, the second in command. It's like what's with the hippie hair? That was so out of style in the 2070s. It just looked like that. It's like you're like mocking like you crazy hippie.
I like it because it makes him look like Joel from the KTMA era. Like we've gone full circle.
Yeah, it's like he's got the
Arlie's basically Crow on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this great bit in, I believe, the 4th episode. They find out that the ship has reality TV cameras on board because apparently the ship was originally built by MTV to be a reality show. And so there's hidden cameras on board. And Art says, wonder if there are any cameras in the bathroom. And Jojo looks at me and goes, already gotta knock that shit off.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's
I'm looking for that because I've only gotten up to episode
delivery.
3, so it won't take up too much time. I mean, this is like a half-hour show, and they only did like 8 episodes
so far of the first season.
No word yet on. Paul Feig said that he hasn't heard anything yet about it. They're Yahoo's gonna give him another season or not.
I'm sure they'll probably wait until Ghostbusters is finished before they open negotiations.
Yeah.
Because he's Paul Feig. He's busy.
Yeah, I decided to check it out finally. Not just because Joel and Trace were in it, and I heard a lot of good reviews from people saying it was actually pretty funny. So
it's quite funny.
It's easy to watch. I mean, you just need the internet. It's free.
And if you have a smartphone, there's a Yahoo Screen app. Honestly, the app kind of sucks, but it works. You can set different definition levels if you want standard definition or high definition.
Yeah. So
depending on your phone or mobile.
You don't need. This is not like something on Netflix or Amazon Prime. You can. It's free. You just gotta go to Yahoo.
You just gotta watch 2 ads.
Yeah.
2 ads every commercial break, and they're short ads too.
So it's not bad
Well,
at
no,
all.
it's one ad usually, and then at the end there's a commercial break with two.
Yeah, there's like one just right before the end.
And then there's usually stuff going on right before the end credits, sometimes through the end credits. So far, I've seen 3.5 episodes. I'm still on the 4th, but that means I'm like halfway through the series, and I like it so far.
Yeah, I'm starting to like it. I need to finish episode 3, and I'm gonna watch the rest of it when I get a chance. But it's definitely recommended. For if you love Joel and Trace, you'll get a blast of it. And the rest of the cast there's a lot of good, talented people. Some people you might recognize from other things. There's a couple I'm kind of familiar with, and others are kind of like they're complete unknowns. But
Yeah.
they really start to gel, and it's like as funny as Joel and Trace are, the rest of the cast does a lot of good stuff. It definitely improves as you go along. It definitely starts to get better as the episodes went along. So that it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah. I really can't recommend it enough. If you like Star Trek, if you like, like spoofs of Star Trek and Red Dwarf. I'm trying to think of other things in that vein.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, especially if you love Galaxy Quest, it's very much in that vein of they're terrible, but
they're doing their best.
Yeah, they're doing it like I think the character of Karen says it in like the 3rd or 4th episode. We're not the best, but we're good enough.
Exactly.
And by the way, if you like the character of Kent, played by Neil Casey, he's playing a villain role in Paul Feig's new Ghostbusters movie, which honestly wasn't really excited about it. I wasn't a fan of the movie like a month ago. The reboot, obviously. You should all know that I'm a fan of Ghostbusters by now.
Well, yeah, same here. It's like we're both, me and Toby are gigantic fans of the original movies and stuff. And it's like the franchise is very near dear to both of us. So, I was a little skeptical, like, I don't know, the cast, I don't know, especially since obviously, a 3rd sequel was never really going to happen, and then especially after Harold Ramis passed away. That was like, and plus Bill Murray just kind of like just dragging his feet, and stuff. So they finally decided to go in like a new direction here. And, from what I'm seeing, I'm really going to give this a shot, especially after seeing some of Feig's other work. He's got a good talent for comedy. So, if the writing is really good, and plus the cast is good. Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, you got some really
Leslie
talented,
Jones.
Yeah, there's some really talented and funny people involved in this film. So I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm going to give it a shot, and I hope it works, because it definitely needs something new. And it's like, especially, it's like the only real thing we got since the second movie was the video game, which was basically Ghostbusters 2.5.
Basically.
That's the closest you ever get to an actual sequel. It's like, it's in continuity. It's like they got everybody except like Security Weaver and Helen Ramis for the game, to voice all the characters. So
Harold Ramis was in the game.
Yeah, well, I meant Rick Moranis. It's like
Rick Moranis
and Sigourney Weaver were the only.
They even got Walter Peck in there.
Yeah, William H. Found came back. It was fantastic.
Also, Chris Hemsworth is in the new one as well. He plays.
He's going to be the Janine character.
He's going to be the Janine. His name's Kevin.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, that's going to be hilarious, because it's like
Ghostbusters. What do you want?
This is Chris Hemsworth. It's Thor, and he's the secretary. That alone, I was like, okay, I like that casting.
Apparently, Dan Aykroyd plays a cab driver.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Dan Aykroyd confirmed he's going to cameo in the movie.
And Andy Garcia as the mayor of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they're doing like beat for beat the first movie.
And Ivan Reitman is producing, so it's like it's. It's like, I'm not keeping my hopes up too much, but I'm optimistic that that they're not going to screw this up.
Like, here's my thing. It's entirely possible this is a secret sequel, kind of like 21 Jump Street was. Set in the same universe, they just don't, it's not really acknowledged at first.
I wouldn't mind that,
I think that'd be really cool, because, like, I think this might be the case, because when I saw the pictures of the new proton packs they're using, I noticed they look old. Like, they look like they've been in use for like 10 years.
And their version of the one is not too far from the original. It's like it's different, but
it's an 80s Cadillac instead of a 60s Cadillac.
Exactly.
Both in their respective times, both of them are junk.
Yeah, and which makes sense. It's a nod to the original.
Everybody can relax. I found the car.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you can't park that here.
Yeah, I mean, the costumes don't look bad, and the equipment and stuff, and the photos that have leaked out, it's like, so, you never know. I mean, I've been skeptical of other stuff, and it surprised me, so it's like,
And honestly, Other Space gives me a lot more hope for it, because it really feels like Feig, he gets it. He gets what makes it work. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna, he's gonna try not to mess it up. I won't say he won't mess it up, but it looks like he's trying really hard not to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of what was that movie? Oh, Bridesmaids. I wasn't crazy about it.
I've never seen that because that's just not my kind of movie.
Not crazy about it, but I like Melissa McCarthy. I like Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
cast. I like Paul Feig.
And I've heard good things about his spy movie parody that Melissa McCarthy just did with Spy with Jason Statham.
Yeah, I heard really he also did The Heat, which I liked as well.
It's like I've heard a lot of good things about Spy, so that gives me I need to check that out. So if that's as good as I heard it is, then definitely gives me hope that hopefully Paul's gonna do good with this female team Ghostbusters movie and hopefully bring some life back into the franchise. And kind of
also, he created Freaks and Geeks, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Freaks and Geeks is amazing.
So it's like he's definitely got he's not some like hack. He's made some good stuff.
He's no Michael Bay.
Yeah.
And he's also producing the new Peanuts movie, which
and same with Adam Sandler. Yeah, it's like so glad Pixar's bombed. I knew that was going to be a whole.
I'm sad and relieved.
I'm sad because the idea was awesome, but I knew it was going to suck because as soon as I saw Adam Sandler's face, I was like, nope.
They should have just put the Futurama creative team in charge because it's from one of their episodes. It's exactly like that one episode where Fry asked what it'd be like if life was a video game. It's the exact same thing. It's the same plot.
It is. It's like, and then the reviews came out and it was getting savage, and I was like, I knew it.
We all knew it.
And because I love the video game stuff when I was a kid, and I was like, but I just knew it was gonna stink. If you want a really good, loving movie homage to video games, go watch Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph is how you do that. Pixels is not.
No, it's not. See, this is the kind of thing that makes Nintendo leery of licensing out their IPs for movies. Mm-hmm. This shit right here.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph did it right. This one's
no. No, they're working on finally doing a sequel to that. They said.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph 2. Which yes.
I heard that they want to get Nintendo to give them Mario. They want to use Mario.
Mario would be fantastic if they could use Mario. Honestly, I'd like to see what happens if they get a duplicate of one of the machines in the arcade, like another Sugar Rush, where Penelope didn't have this
and I think it would work
stuff
because,
happen to her. I think that'd be really
people forget when Mario's first appearance in a video game was in Donkey Kong. He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was the enemy in the Donkey Kong game before they.
Well, I don't know if Nintendo will allow Mario to be a villain. Like they're probably going to say no.
Not as a villain, but he can be like, hey, I understand how you, they can use it like, I understand you feel, it's like, it's like, I started out, not being a good guy, but look at me now.
Hey, or if they had another Ralph that was totally okay with being a bad guy, and was just a dick. Mm-hmm. But I think the two Vanellope's would work really well because then, like, the one who was always the princess and always, the ruler, she didn't go through what the one from the first movie did. I think that'd be an interesting way of showing that. Plus, because that's what everyone thinks about. What happens if there's another of these machines in the arcade? What if the power goes out? Like, what happens?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
There's a lot of possibilities. Anyway, we're off. We went off. Sorry if we went off on a tangent, but
well, whatever. But it's all related to how terrible Pixels is, and at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Just go away, will you?
Just stop making bad comedies.
Just
stop.
Stop. Oh, okay, if you somehow mess up Hotel Transylvania 2, I'm gonna be quite cross with you, Mr. Sandler. Because I like the first one. You weren't the best thing in it, but you were okay. You did good, Sandler. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's mostly due to the direction because it's directed by a god of animation.
Yeah.
Tangent, but just go ahead, Adam Sandler, please.
Yep.
Where's my Big Daddy 2? Damn it.
Don't think you know. No. Let's see. Anyway, back to MST news. Back during San Diego Comic-Con, the Shout Factory announced, that the next lineup of episodes for the next DVD box set. They've been getting some good ones now. It's after they made some more wheeling and dealing. It's like Viking Women, the Sea Serpent, War of the Colossal Beast, the Undead Sheep Creature. There's a couple episodes that I really like. War of the Colossal Beast, sequel to Amazing Colossal Man, which has Mr. B Natural. And in fact, it has two of the best shorts they've ever riffed on are on that set. The Home Economic Story with Viking Women is freaking hilarious, and Mr. B Natural is an infamous classic.
It's a seminal classic.
It's one of the most disturbing things they've ever ripped on. I just love how Crow is like when they're starting to watch and just goes, Joel, I'm scared. He's like, it's like, and I've seen some pretty disturbing stuff, and I always go like, this has got a Mr. B Natural vibe to it, and I'm not comfortable. So, Shout Factory, and Shout Factory overall is just not just because of what they do for MST3K, and it's like, they've gotten so many episodes released over the last couple of years, but they do so much good stuff with other movies. It's like they've done some really quality DVD and Blu-ray releases of all kinds of stuff, especially on a lot of really classic movies. It's like stuff from John Carpenter. They did They Live. I love the They Live Blu-ray that I got. They just did like Escape New York, and they're going to do a new edition of Army of Darkness on Blu-ray, which I cannot wait for.
Yes.
And it's like they do a really good job with both video quality and extras. They really put in the effort. It's like they are one of the best video release companies these days out there. It's like they're right at the top. It's like they do a fantastic job. It's like they deserve all the monies. It's like
all of the monies. Every last one of the monies, they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any other MST news to discuss on that front?
I don't think so.
Nothing.
One other thing. The YouTube channel has been putting up more annotated episode stuff. They just did Time of the Apes, which is a fun episode. So they got a couple of those annotated ones out there. They did Man, they did Time of the Apes, and can't remember the rest of them off the top of my head, but the effort goes by the people at the annotated MST website to do that stuff is quite impressive. Trying to especially some of the more obscure stuff that you always like, what are they referencing with that joke? Well, they do this they do their best to explain it to you. It's like I've even been, because there's some stuff that they've done in the past in certain episodes that I'm I have no idea what they're referencing. No. So that's why
I still kind of figure out new stuff each time I watch an episode because there's jokes I didn't get the first time, and there's jokes that I continue to not get. I'm sure I'm going to get them in the future.
Oh, yeah.
That's the great thing about MST3K. You kind of learn something new every time.
Oh, absolutely.
In addition to stuff that's on YouTube, Kyle Colgren, aka Owen Citizen, who does the web show Browse Out High, recently did an episode for his Summer of Shakespeare series reviews where he looks at different adaptations of The Bard. And for his latest one, he looked at Forbidden Planet, which is a quasi-adaptation of The Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, he made several MST3K references and jokes that I think a lot of you will appreciate. It's a very well-done review of Forbidden Planet as well, for those of you who like that kind of thing. I know I do. And how it relates to the text of Shakespeare, and how it relates to Shakespeare's worldview in general. And it's really fascinating stuff. I also recommend the rest of his Summer of Shakespeare stuff. I think this year he did something by Kurosawa, a Bollywood adaptation of Othello. He did one with Gerard Butler, and I can't remember the name of the play. I think the film is called A Place Called Rome.
Uh-huh.
I cannot remember the name of the play for the life of me. And of course he did Titus with Anthony Hopkins in all its bizarre glory.
Right.
Last year he did straight adaptations of Shakespeare. Richard III with Ian McKellen, Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann version, etc., etc. Very good stuff. I recommend these reviews because Kyle is a very insightful, intelligent dude who I hope to have on the show at some point. I did send him an email about it, and I hope to hear back from him soon because he's a very cool dude. Alright, I think that about wraps it up. Anything else?
No, I think that just about covers it.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate you listening to this episode of the MSTieCast. We were going to try and have another one out in a couple weeks. Like I said, life's been getting in the way. We haven't been able to do as many episodes as we'd like to a month. So we're just kind of keeping it to one by now, or for right now. Hopefully we'll be able to do two soon.
We try to get out at least once a month. It's like
once a month, twice if we can manage it. It's all subjective to our time and how busy we are.
Yep. But we appreciate, the fans out there, especially the new ones. It's like thanks for liking us and listening. We appreciate it.
Yep. So, with that in mind, I'm Toby Mobius.
I'm Justin Sharknado.
And this has been the MSTieCast. What's the word, Thunderbird? What's the price? 40 twice.
Now, poopy.